Goeiemorgen. It's really early in the morning for me. And let's watch this. Let's just watch this.
Finally, in the fullback position, this is the best player actually the best player in South Africa, Damian Valencia. Now, many of you guys might think, hey, he's not the best player. Come on, man. What you don't understand is Damian Valencia covers the entire Springboks backline from 10 to 15. Yes. Not only that, he's a world-class 15. He's literally the cover for the entire Springbok backline. If anybody gets injured, he can switch position. He plays for 12 for the Stormers. And yeah, he is that talented. And why he's the most important player, the best player for the Springboks? Because without him, the 6-2 bench split is almost impossible for the Springboks to do. Because it's going to be way too risky for the Springboks to play only 2 backline cover, to not have another person that's talented enough to cover the entire backline out of one player. So Damian Valencia gets the nod, a 15 jersey. He's actually better on the bench, to be honest. But he is, super talented. Based upon what I saw, his performance for the...
Alright, that's enough. Shut up! That's enough. I told ya! Man, that was... I thought for like the first half, I was like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was just like, oh my god, this is actually gonna happen. The stinking Welsh, no cheating referee this time, but, so, where's my notes? Yes, I thought the Welsh was gonna beat the Springboks the first time in its history. The first half of the Springboks was an absolute disaster. Elton Yanshies was just not on the game today. A lot of you guys have talked to me about this in the comments before. A lot of people don't like him. People don't think he's a big league sort of player. And I always thought that those like criticism was a bit over the top. And he showed today that he's just really, really off. Not maybe because of the crowd, maybe because of the pressure, whatever reason, maybe because he had that lawsuit that was dropped last week. Whatever it was, he was just not in the game today. There was a few things that I would say that it's not really his fault. The game plan for him when he was out there, it looks like the coaching staff, I'm going to say Jacko Johan, is told him to basically play like Henry Pollard. So instead of being Elton Yanshies with a lot of running game, a lot of attacking speed, he's going for a lot of the kicking game, and his kicking game isn't nearly as accurate as Henry Pollard. And as a result, there was a lot of forced kicks in the game that just waste a lot of opportunity. Not to mention the other kicks that he missed, the penalty goal that he missed, the silent kicks that he missed. Just the on-field decision-making of the kicking game is not good, not clinical enough. And I think a large part of that comes down to, like, that is basically the forte for Henry Pollard, and that's not really the style that he plays, to be fair. If you watch him play against the All Blacks last year on that wing, he didn't play anything like this. It was very much attacking, very quick balls, a lot of switching to different, attacking directions, quick thinking, good running game, and just bringing that speed bringing that speed. None of that we saw this week. A lot of just like rushed kicking. Probably one or two phases later, the Springboks goes for a kick. And yeah, it was really, really bad in the first half. Not to mention, that was not the only thing that was bad for the Springboks. The set piece, other than the scrum, that's working for the Springboks' favour, which is not even a huge favour, like a tiny bit of advantage. Lineouts weren't working. The maul wasn't working. The box kicks from, what do you call it, Faf de Klerk wasn't that great either. And there was a lot of good handling error as well. And a lot of those high balls was not really recovered from the pressure from the Springboks. And overall, the team was just, not really on the ball. The defense was a bit lacking a little bit. and the Welsh just came out firing, almost catching the Springboks off guard with like a try a minute into the game, like 2 minutes into the game with the try into the corner, completely caught the Springboks with pants down, and that really kind of like threw the whole Boks team like off their guard sort of thing. In fact, the only person in the first half that was making like meaningful line breaks and meaningful getting over the advantage line is Damien Valencia. Like, he's a fullback and he's like putting himself into positions in the back line, in the attacking positions, and getting himself through. And then once he gets over the advantage line, the Springbok just goes, really don't know what to do here. Yanshis gets the ball. It's like, all right, I'll try a crossfield kick, see if that works. It's just like, yeah, really, really lacking the decision making. And obviously the missed penalty goals, some of them were really easy straight up in front. And also he missed the touch finder, Elton Yanshis, and not to mention like the crossover kick was not very accurate either. So yeah, it was really terrible. At halftime he was taken off the field, and Damien Valencia, the best player in freaking South Africa, goes to 10 and salvages the game for the Springboks for the second half. Like literally saves the game for the Springboks second half. Once that like number 10 position is in play, the Maul started doing a bit better. The scrums improved a tiny bit as well. And the Wilds was under the pressure. The line speed was better. The breakdown pressure was a lot better in the second half for the Springboks, causing the Welsh to give away a lot of penalties in the second half, getting 3 yellow cards at one point for the Wilds. And the Welsh players had to play with 12 players for a bit before Alan Wynne-Jones were able to get back onto the field from the yellow cards. It was just preposterous. And for the Welsh, all credit to them, to their plan. This was so close. It was looking like it was going to be a draw. And when the Wales scored, like literally, Wales was down to 12 players. They had a penalty to go for the penalty lineout. Alan Wynne-Jones gets on the field just in time for the lineout. So Wales back to 13 players. Nobody expected a 13-player team to score a try, let alone a more try. That's exactly what they did. The Welsh went for a more. I wasn't even like looking, to be honest. I was like busy typing my notes. I was like, this is just gonna be another futile attempt for the Welsh to run down the clock with a more. And the next thing you know, Lewis, what's his name? Lewis Lake, I think his last name was, peels off at the back, just belts himself through one or two defenders, goes in for the try. Nobody expected that. The Springboks pretty much hardly had any missed tackles this whole game. For Lewis to belt through like 2 defenders to go for that try was like very impressive. And suddenly the scores was leveled and the game carried on. There was a lot of argy-bargy this game. In the end, Dan Biggar was running his mouth the whole game. He got a yellow card as well early on. And in the end, he was really just way too emotional. He was getting involved in every bit of pushing, every bit of shoving, being an absolute can't say that word on YouTube. And then he eventually, the karma eventually got to him. He a deliberate knock on in 83rd minute of the game. Penalty. This was a long range, almost 40 meters out, a bit of an angle. Damien Valencia slots this one right through and wins the game. Oh my god, that was so impressive. I can't believe how good this guy actually is. You know what's really funny? I was just thinking as well, Damien Valencia with his little beard, he looks like a guy, I used to work in the casino. He used to look like one of the guys at the dealer. And to be honest, this is kind of like a bit of bullying from the clients. They're like, wealthy clients that this guy like deals like a blackjack table. And every time the house win, all the clients just like abuses him, like, you're useless piece of trash, right? And then every time the house loses, and everyone's like, you're the captain, you're awesome, like he just reminded me of this guy, like, I don't know, I think it's a beard, it just reminded me of this guy. I'm like, I feel like I've seen this guy, I feel like I've worked with this guy before, like, it's just so weird. But obviously, the casino dealer in Australia is not the most talented player in South Africa, obviously. But yes, that was super tight. Anything else I want to say? Yeah, the kicking wasn't accurate. So yeah, that was the kind of the game. 2 halves. First half, the Springboks struggled. Second half, everything kind of fell back into place. Everything got into order, and Wales were just absolutely throwing themselves away. I feel like the tackling technique, the breakdown technique, is something that the Welsh planned for, and as a result, there was a lot of really, really blatantly obvious, like, make the tackle and roll yourself on the wrong side by accident and slow the ball down. There was a lot of that for the Welsh team, and the referee was super, super good. Wasn't having any of it. Just going hard on the penalties on Wales and giving out cards after, like, business cards. I've never seen a referee giving out so many business cards. So many business cards in a row. Usually the referee, like, after a try is kind of a score. They kind of just like, all right, we'll give you a couple more penalties before I give you another card. No. I just warned you. You get it. I just sent over a player. You just infringed it again. Another yellow card right away. He was just, excellent referee. I felt this was, this guy, Georgian. He's exceptionally good referee, to be really, really frank. And anyway, I don't want to talk too much about referee, but he was very, very good in my opinion. So let's look at some of the interesting stats of the game. So this is completely different. So it's really interesting, the stats from the first half and the second half. At first half, the Springboks only had 207 run meters, and the Wales had 448 run meters. So the Springboks had more run meters, but there were 3 points to 18 down in score. Yeah. So that just shows you how badly the Springboks was executing their strategy. You have so many opportunities. You're overwhelmingly dominant over your opponent in stats. Not overwhelming, but you are winning the stats. But you're just like 15 points behind on the scoreboard, 2 tries behind, no less. And just to give you an idea, the Springboks was down 2 tries, right? They only missed 1 tackle. Yeah, one of the tries was just complete fluke, right? Like that's how bad things kind of went for the Springboks. Even the tries, one of the tries was just a fluke. It wasn't even like properly earned try, and that try was kind of like Yanshi's fault as well for not catching the ball. But it was just a complete fluke where Wales scored one of the second tries. So there's only 1 missed tackle the whole first half, and Wales got 15 points. 2 tries, right? 2 tries and a penalty. And the Welsh on the other side had 14 missed tackles at halftime already, and they didn't concede a single try. How does that work? I don't know. This doesn't make any sense. But it's just like the little things that the ex-Springboks was just not able to capitalize at all. So second half, Springboks, once again, world-class defense, 6 missed tackles. Technically worse than the first half, but obviously the fatigue kicks in. And Wales missed a further 11 tackles in the second half. The big thing here as well. Sorry, my bad. Wales didn't actually get. Did they get? I think they got a second. I think they got 2. Was it 2 tries? I think they got 1 try in the first half. There was a drop goal. There was a try. There was 2 tries and a drop goal in the. Was that 2 tries and two tries and a drop goal? Yes, 2 tries and a drop goal in the first half. 15 points to 3. Was it 18 points to 3? No, 18 points to 3, leading by 15 points. And there was a penalty as well. So it was just bizarre. Dan Bigger hit a drop goal in the first half as well. Just bizarre situations. So that's that. Kicks in play. Wales has more kickings in play, especially in the second half. The kicking really picked up a bit for Wales. The kicking numbers was 11 kicks to 17 in the first half. So the Springboks was falling behind in the kicking game in the first half. Not only that they weren't accurate, but they were also falling behind in just kicking control. Second half, the Springboks won the kicking game with 15 kicks to the Welsh 10. So the Springboks actually controlled the game with the kicking a lot better with Yanshi's off the field. Very interesting stuff there. The penalty count for halftime, just to give you an idea, Springboks conceded 3 penalties at halftime. And the full time, so Springboks only conceded 7 penalties overall. Wales conceded 5 at halftime, 10 in the second half, and 3 yellow cards in the second half. 1 red card in the first. Sorry, penalty. Yeah. Oh wait, that's not. Hang on, one sec. Sorry, the Wales conceded 6 penalties in the first half. So 9 penalties in the second half, and 4 yellow cards in the second half due to repeated penalties. So yeah, the referee was not having any of it. Wasn't having any of that. So that's the stats. Let's go through some of the interesting stuff of this game. This was the first time the Springboks played at home since 2019 in front of a crowd, a full capacity crowd. This was amazing atmosphere. The national anthem started. What is it called? Nkosisikaleli Africa, whatever you call it. The national anthem started. Like, I have never heard an anthem like sung so passionately, so loud in the stadium. It was it was literally like, 50,000 people screaming their heads off during the national anthem. It was like louder than the actual cheers of the fans when the team won the game. That's how loud this was. That's how passionate the South Africans were. Like, I was getting emotional listening. It was awesome national anthem. Oh yeah, the CGI on the field was a little bit glitchy. So when there's maybe it's something to do with lighting, whenever there's a shadow on the ground, the CGI, which is the ads, they don't print the ads on the ground anymore. They put like CGI ads on the ground. So when there's a shadow cast over it looks like the players are like glitching a little bit. So that was a little bit annoying. I think they should fix that. This wasn't an issue previous years. I'm not sure what's going on in this particular match. Maybe it's the lighting. But yeah, the CGI was glitching out a little bit, and that was a little bit weird to watch on the television. But yeah, so the game kind of started. The South Africa had a line out, around the halfway point. The line out gets kind of knocked down by the Wales, and Wales recovers the ball. A little bit of passing between themselves on the sideline. Suddenly Wales is in the front foot inside the South African half. The ball comes out from the rock. Quick ball out wide. Reece Zamet still had 50 meters to go. He gets the ball on the wing. He just greased Zamet, right? He just bolts down the sideline. Nobody even touched him for 50 meters. Nobody could even get anywhere close to him. Bolts down the sideline. Bang. Try time. 2 minutes into the game. And the stadium just, after that, extremely loud, a passionate rendition of the national anthem, just literally just fell silent, right? It was like, what just happened? I was like, whoa. I was like, that was so unexpected. And suddenly the score is 5 points to 0, 2 minutes in. And then the game kind of stalled a little bit, a bit of back and forward. And just Wales out of nowhere, okay? A few minutes out of nowhere, Dan Bigger gets the ball, punts a drop goal from pretty far off as well, maybe around 40 meters out. And it looked like it was short. It was pretty far kick. It looked like it was, you can't tell. So they have to go to the TMO to check whether it went over or not. And the ball went just over the goal. 8 points to 0. So nobody was expecting that Wales would be leading with the drop goal and the try 8 minutes into the match. And then you're like, okay, Springboks just going to have to stabilize. You thought it was just luck. Things got a bit worse, right? On the 15th minute, Yang Shi's tries for a penalty goal, hits the goalpost. Oh yeah, there's another thing that happened in this game for the first time ever. There are designated water breaks in this game. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. This is something that the World Rugby introduced few weeks ago. In fact, basically instead of a team just getting breaks when someone's injured, they've decided that that's not allowed anymore. But instead, you are allowed to have designated water breaks twice on each half. So when the water breaks were going to take place was decided by the teams before the match. So whoever had a control, I think it might be South Africa. I think Wales had a second half. Decided that 15 minutes was the good time to have the first water break. So they get a water break after Yang Shi's hit the post, which was quite an easy kick as well. It was surely it was a tiny bit of angle. Anyway, hits the post, and then right after the water break, I can't believe I'm saying this, a fucking water break in rugby match. Jesus Christ. Anyway, after the water break, fuck me. After the water break, on the 17th minute, water break, Jesus Christ. The Springboks gets another opportunity. Wiles not releasing the ball on the ground. This time, Yankees kicks it 3 points to 8, 17 minutes into the game. On the 19th minute, Wiles put some pressure on the Springboks. Springboks just really not able to build any pressure. Neither team was able to build any pressure. But Wiles gets a penalty. They kick for 3. 11 points to 3, 19 minutes in. On the 20th minute, the Wiles gets another penalty for... Wiles concedes a penalty, so Springboks gets a penalty for the Welsh sealing off a breakdown. They did this a lot in the second half. This is definitely something wrong with their coaching. This is something that they were told before the game to do to slow the breakdown for sure. Because this has happened all game. So Wales was sealing off the breakdown. And then South Africa decides to go for a goal kick again. And you look at this point, you're 11 points to 3 down. Probably should have pressured for the lineouts. Especially, you haven't really tested that more. Yeah, it's something that one of your weapon. But South Africa decides to go for 3 points. And Yankees misses another kick. And the crowd started booing him. Yeah. The South African home crowd started booing him. And then on the 24th minute, Wiles gets caught offside. This was about 50 meters out. Yankees tries to go for touch. He tries to kick the entire 50 meters to get the ball into the 5 meter mark. It's a big kick. It's a good effort. But the ball goes dead. Yeah. He misses a touch. And this was pretty bad. On the 26th minute, there was a bit of an incident. This is basically the whole game kind of started off at this point. Basically, there was a free kick in the scrum. I think it was Tom Williams. No, not Tom Williams. What's his name? Tom Williams in the reserve. The number 9. Kieran Hardy was holding on to the ball. And Faf Kirk's like, give me the ball. And he just wouldn't give him the ball. And there was a bit of pushing, shoving. And Sia Khaleesi comes in. And started just mouthing up on what's his name? Started mouthing up on Kieran Hardy, like he was just giving it a mouthful, and then Dan Bigger runs in, start mouthing up on Sia Khaleesi, and just see 2 captains mouthing, yelling at each other in the middle of the game, with the referee standing between them, saying, "Shut up, stop." This was so bizarre. And a little bit unprofessional in my opinion. But that was basically everything Sia Khaleesi did for the whole game. But Dan Bigger carried on for the rest of the game. He's just running around, yelling at everyone. He's yelling at the touch judge. Every time he kicks the ball out, he's yelling at the touch judge. He's further forward. Every time there's some kind of infringement, he's going to the referee saying, "What about that one? What about that one? What about that one?" And he's just really unprofessional to say the least for Dan Bigger. Losing his control, losing his motion quite a bit on the field today. Anyway, after this little incident, the referee's like, no more, anymore. We're going to get people sent into the bin. But yeah, people still try to put a lot of little pushing and shoving going on, even after this. And where is this? Where am I up to? Yeah, so on the 28th minute, again, there was a penalty given to Springboks. They go for the line out, and this was really close to sideline. He kicks the ball out, and the crowd just sarcastically clapped, right? He was standing right next to the sideline. He just popped it out. Everyone just sarcastically clapped at him for Elton Yankees. And then the ball comes out. The Springboks literally had, from this line out, right? They weren't going forward with the ball. The ball comes out. They literally had one phase, maybe 2. And then Yankees gets the ball, tries for a crossfield kick. Not a penalty advantage, nothing, just kicks it, and then, wasted the opportunity. Could have just spread the ball out wide. Your centers hasn't even touched the ball, and he just kicks it crossfield and completely missed the mark. And then again, on the 30th minute, another water break. On the 32nd minute, Wiles gets a line out. It looks like they try to overthrow the line out to Tompkins at center, which is this is a move that Australian does. This is an Aussie move. You've stolen our move, Wales. Come on with your own line out move. So this is a move where Australia does. This is the first time I've seen this. Australia, it goes not to the 10, straight to the inside center at 12. The 12 would run at speed. He would throw the ball straight over the top to the 12, full speed onto it. But it looked like it may have gone a little bit short because 12 is obviously a little bit further out than the 10. And it looked like maybe the Tompkins misjudged the timing. He goes in. He ended up where the 10 is. So Yang Shis was there to try to catch the ball. Tompkins was too slow. He gets a bit late. Kind of maybe collide a little bit in the air. Yang Shis knocks the ball backwards. And then, what's his name? Reece Zamed sees this, runs up, tips the ball forward, and he just bolts through. Makazolo Mapimpi was next to him, couldn't keep up. Goes through, catches the ball, goes down, try. It was just like, what? Suddenly the scoreboard's opened up to 13 points to 18. And that was pretty much it for the first half. Just before halftime, another thing happened. On the 30, just before halftime, the Springboks had a nice little play out wide. Damien Valencia makes a nice little break out in the sideline. He links up with Faf de Klerk on his inside. Faf de Klerk runs down the field. He gets chased down by Dan Biggar, tackles him inside the 22. And again, Biggar just rolled himself onto the opposition, like onto the Springbok side. So Faf de Klerk is like stuck and he can't release the ball whilst he's on the ground. And then, yeah, gets penalized. He gets penalized for no rolling, obviously, and the referee goes up to him and says, that is a professional foul, that is cynical, yellow card. So this was 100% correct. And this was really good, well done by the referee. The commentators were just saying, that should be a yellow card, but referees don't usually give yellow card for this. And then it's almost like the referee heard him, and then was like, yep, that's a yellow card, it's a professional foul, you're not allowed to do that. You knew, like, you did that on purpose you give away the penalty on purpose so the opposition can't get the ball out. So, yeah, Dan Biggar gets the yellow card just before halftime. And then second half starts. Clearly, there's an issue with a 10, and Valencia gets moved to the 10 position. Willie LaRue goes to 15, comes off the bench, and immediately the Springboks look a little bit better. Damien Valencia did make the initial attempt look really bad right away. So the Springboks had like a penalty a minute into the second half, and Damien Valencia failed to find touch like Herschel Yanshis did. Not Herschel, like Elton Yanshis did. And then I was like, oh man, what's going on here? But anyway, that was like pretty much the only mistake he made the whole game. He was just like, uh-oh, Valencia, what are you doing? And then on the 45th minute, the Springboks gets a penalty to go for a 5-meter line out. This time they set up a more beautifully executed, and Bungi Bunabi goes in for the first try for the Springboks. And then suddenly the Springboks is back up to 10 points to 18. And then the Springboks starting to look a lot better, a lot more structured. The attack looked a bit smoother. On the 50th minute, Thomas Francis just getting put onto the field. Literally, like the first tackle he makes, he dives extremely low and slaps his head onto the player's of the attacking player's knee. Completely knocks himself out. He has a history of concussion issues, knocking himself in the head. In the Six Nations this year, he got knocked pretty hard. I think this might be it for Thomas Francis in terms of his career. Like I would be, if I'm his family, I would just tell him like that's it. That was way too much. He got clipped almost at the back of his head because he's really poor tackling technique and knocks himself out. That was too dangerous. I think he should retire before things gets really, really, really bad. And if he's, this really just, I think this is probably the last time we're going to see him. I'll be very surprised if Thomas Francis plays for Wales again late in the year or Six Nations next year, because that would be like, really, I would say just really, what do you call it? Really, bad decision from his family to let him play any further. This was really bad. Anyway, when he got knocked out, the Springboks had a penalty. Anyway, Springboks kicks the ball out for a 5-meter line out. They go for another perfectly executed maul. And this time, Malcolm Marx, just coming off the bench, did exactly what Bungi Bunabi did before, sets up the maul perfectly and peels off at the back. Faf de Klerk pushing him like he's, like the engine drives him over for the try. The Springboks missed the conversion. What's his name? Valencia misses this one from the sideline. 15 points to 18. Springboks still down 3 points. On the 53rd minute, from the kickoff, Springboks gets penalized right away for latching, like basically sealing off the breakdown right off their feet, latching, and then the Bigger kicks another 3. 21 points to 15. Wiles puts himself a bit more further ahead. 57th minute, water break. 58th minute, Faf de Klerk does a very start, like his kicking's really starting to go off in the second half. He does a boss kick that goes straight up. And then he did like a few things that's pretty poor this game. He kicked the ball dead once or twice this game, once at least. He kicked the ball out on the full. So a few really big mistakes he made in the second half, especially. On the 62nd minute, a poor kick by the Springboks. Dan Bigger gets the ball center field, sets up a counter attack. Good attack by the Wiles, just linking themselves, keeping the ball alive. And eventually, the Wiles was able to get themselves into like the just outside the Springboks 22, and then Springboks gives away a penalty. Wiles kicks for 3. Dan Bigger puts the scoreboard further, 24 points to 15. 62 minutes into the game, there was a huge run, outright low for the Springboks coming off the bench. He looked magnificent. Gets the ball. He gets a nice little pop inside ball from Faf de Klerk, and he just punched through a huge gap around the rocks. Just goes in. His field feet short from the try line. He gets pulled out, and then the Springbok just start piling on pressure. A few phases later, there was a penalty advantage. Ball goes out. Valencia passes the ball to the centers. Damien Delende gets the ball. Grab a kick behind, and Cheslin and Kobe bolts down the sideline, catches the ball nice and clean, plots the ball down. Perfect execution. Beautiful try by the Springboks. Valencia kick slots this one in from the sideline. His kicking is really good as well. It's like perfect technique. Pops the ball like beautifully. It goes straight down the center. He's a beautiful kicker. Like really good technique. Not gonna lie, he is so damn good. Damien Valencia. He kicks the ball straight down the center from the sideline, and then suddenly the score is 2 points behind for the Springboks. And then and at this point as well, Alan Wynne-Jones gets a yellow card from this play for the repeated penalties. Alan Wynne-Jones gets a yellow card. He gets sent off. On the 71st minute, another water break. 73rd minute, another yellow card against the Wiles for not rolling away, for making a tackle. I think, who was it? That was Reece Zammit gets yellow carded, send off. See you later, mate. On the 73rd minute, right after, so basically following this penalty, the Springboks kicks the ball out for a maul. They set out the maul, they try to maul, the push through. Wiles collapses the maul on the try line. Another yellow card. Referee goes, yep, that's not just a yellow card, a penalty try, and Reece Kerr gets a yellow card. So Wiles is down to 3 players, and the Springboks back ahead, 29 points to 24, and this is looking like the game is over. The Wiles are playing 12 players on the field, and on the 75th minute, Wiles gets a penalty, pretty far, and it looked like I thought maybe they should kick the goal and then wait for Alan Wynne-Jones to come back on. He's just maybe like a minute left on his yellow card. But no, Wiles goes, we're going to go for the line out. They go for the line out. Alan Wynne-Jones just in time to get on for that line out. And then they go for a more. I did not expect this. Nobody expected this. I literally yelled out, oh my God, when this try was scored. The more goes in. Looked like South Africa was completely off guard. What's his name? Lewis Lake, I think his name is Lewis, first name. His last name is Lake. Peels off the back of the maul after the maul going forward a little bit. Just crashed himself through for a try. Suddenly the score is level. Bigger had to kick the ball from the sideline. Misses the kick. And yeah, 29 points, 29. And the game carries on. Even a draw will be really good for Wiles, considering the situation they're in. But the Springboks really needed this win after that. Being the first game back in front of the home fans, everybody wanted to see the win. Sure enough, the game carried on. Extra time, 81st minute on the clock. The siren has gone. South Africa's running the ball out of their own half, and then just into the Welsh half, there was some good hard running, making through the advantage line, and then Dan Bigger slaps the ball down tries to make a tackle, and then knocks the ball down. in the same time. Penalty. Lucky he didn't get a yellow card. This probably should have been a yellow card too. He's not happy. He's screaming. He's yelling. It's too late. It's a bit long kick, 40 meters out or something in from angle. Damien Valencia, I've never seen him kick a 40-meter penalty, to be honest. I was like, oh, he strikes the ball perfectly. You can hear the sound of the ball pop. It was like, pop, 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 like the beautiful sound of his boot popping the ball, and the ball just sailed through the middle of straight through the posts. And amazing finish. Springboks managed to pull ahead and close this one out. 32 points, 29. Whew, huge sigh of relief. If the Springboks lost that one, I wasn't like, I don't know. I was like, yeah, I felt like I didn't really want to blame it on Yankees. But yeah, that first half from Yankees was just, man. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts about this game. If you are still alive, still, if you didn't get a heart attack from watching that game as a Springbok, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. Danke, and see you later.